The announcer called again. Third trial fear. The lights in the hall dimmed. The floor cracked open. Black mist rose like smoke. This test showed each suitor their greatest fear. An illusion so real many screamed or fainted. A shadowy creature formed in front of Eli. Tall and monstrous, with sharp teeth and burning eyes. The ground shook. The air grew colder. Aliens around him took a step back, expecting the human to run. But Eli did not move. His voice stayed calm. "You're not real," the monster roared. Eli repeated quietly, "You can't hurt me." The illusion shattered like broken glass. Gasps filled the room. Lyara covered her mouth. She had never seen anyone break the fear illusion so fast. Not even alien warriors. The announcer trembled as he called the last trial. Fourth trial, the heart. A crystal shaped like a star floated down from the ceiling. It glowed faintly. The crystal responded to purity of heart, not power. Many aliens touched it. It barely reacted. Eli stepped forward. The hall held its breath. He touched the crystal with one hand. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the crystal glowed soft white, warm, pure, alive, not bright, but steady. A perfect match for a humble, honest heart. Whispers filled the hall. Impossible. A human? How? But Lyara felt warmth spread through her chest. Her eyes shimmered like stars. She whispered to herself, "He is the one." The trials were finished. Eli, the weakest being in the hall, had passed them all, and the entire galaxy had just witnessed it. The hall had never been this silent before. Alien nobles, warriors, princes, and high-ranking leaders stood frozen, staring at the human who had passed every trial. Eli stood quietly in the center of the floor, breathing slowly, as if he himself was unsure how he succeeded. Princess Lyara walked forward, her steps light but filled with purpose. Her heartbeat echoed in her chest. She had watched every moment of the trials. She felt every emotion in her bones. A human had done what powerful alien princes could not. Her father, King Orion, looked tired and frustrated. He had expected a strong alien prince to win. He had expected a political victory. But what he got instead was a miracle no one understood. "Princess," the announcer said nervously, "you must now declare your chosen suitor." All eyes turned to her. Lyara stood tall, her golden hair shining softly under the hall lights. She slowly looked at each alien prince in the circle. Some avoided her eyes. Some glared with hatred. Some looked shocked, unable to understand how a human beat them. Then she looked at Eli. His eyes met hers gently. Calm, honest, not pushing, not demanding, not trying to impress her. He simply looked like someone standing exactly where he was meant to be. Lyara lifted her hand. The hall leaned forward. She pointed. At Eli. Gasps exploded across the palace. Princes shouted. Nobles protested. The energy in the hall turned wild, crackling like electricity. King Orion jumped from his throne. "Lyara!" he shouted. "You cannot choose the human. This is madness." Lyara did not look at him. Her eyes stayed on Eli. "I have made my choice," she said softly. Chaos erupted instantly. He tricked the trials. He used human illusions. He is weak. This cannot stand. One alien prince stepped forward aggressively, the same one Lyara had rejected earlier. His skin sparked with lightning again. "This human insulted all royal bloodlines," he growled. "I challenge him." The hall trembled with anticipation. Guards reached for their weapons. Several alien nobles clapped, eager to see the human destroyed. Eli took a slow breath. He did not look afraid. He did not look angry. But Lyara rushed forward, blocking the prince's path. "No one touches him," she warned. The prince smirked. "Princess, step aside." This weak creature will not survive even one strike. Eli suddenly spoke. No. Everyone turned toward him. Eli stepped forward, placing himself beside Lyara, not behind her. If he wants to challenge someone, he challenges me, Eli said calmly. The prince laughed loudly. You think you can fight me, human? I don't want to fight, Eli said. But I won't run. Lyra's voice shook. Eli, you don't have to. But he gently shook his head. I do. For myself? And for you. Lyra's heart twisted. No prince had ever shown bravery like this. Bravery without ego, without pride, without power. A courage born from something deeper. The prince charged with lightning crackling across his hands. But before he reached, Eli moved, not fast, not strong, but smart. He stepped aside at the perfect moment, letting the prince's own speed throw him off balance. The prince stumbled, crashed into a pillar, and the lightning around him short-circuited. The hall gasped. Eli had not attacked. He had only avoided. The prince roared with rage, but the king raised a hand. Enough! His voice stopped everyone. The king stared at Eli long and hard. The hall waited for the king's judgment. Finally, with a tired sigh, he said, The trials have been completed. The law is clear. The princess may choose freely. Lyara exhaled softly. Relieved, the king looked at Eli again, this time with something new in his eyes. Respect. Princess Lyara, he said slowly. If this human is truly the one you choose, then so it shall be. The hall exploded again, but this time with every emotion possible. And Lyara walked straight to Eli, took his hand gently, and whispered, You were meant to walk into my life. After the king's final words, the hall buzzed with mixed emotions, anger, shock, curiosity, and deep confusion. No one ever imagined a human, the weakest species in the galaxy, would stand in the suitor trials, win them, and be chosen by the princess. Eli stood quietly, still holding Princess Lyra's hand. His heartbeat was steady, but inside he felt something powerful, not pride, not victory, but a strange feeling of belonging. Like he had finally found the place he was meant to be. But the challenges were not over. The alien prince who had attacked earlier rose again, glaring at them both. This is not the end, he hissed. The galaxy will never accept this union. Lyara stepped in front of Eli, her purple eyes sharp as blades. Then the galaxy will learn to accept, she replied firmly. Several nobles argued loudly. A human cannot become part of the royal bloodline. This will weaken our kingdom. He has no power. Lyara turned slowly to face them. You are wrong, she said, her voice calm but strong. Power is not only in strength. Power is also in the heart. And today, the human showed more heart than all of you. Silence followed her words. Even Eli looked at her with awe. The king finally stood and lifted his staff. The suitor trials are ancient law, he said, and today the law has chosen a new path. The human has completed every challenge. None of you have the right to question it. The arguments slowly died. Respect, even if unwilling, began to grow. To settle the matter once and for all, King Orion declared, Eli will face one last test, not of strength, truth, fear, or heart, but of identity. A guard brought forward a small holographic device. The king pressed it, and ancient human records appeared, files so old they belonged to the first age of the galaxy. Many years ago, the king explained, humans and our people were linked by a forgotten bond. A prophecy was written that one day, a human with a pure heart would enter this palace and restore the connection between our species. Gasps spread across the hall. Lyra's eyes widened. Eli felt a strange warmth growing inside. The king continued. The prophecy said, Your heart will recognize the one who does not belong. Lyra's breath caught in her throat. She whispered, "I heard those words as a child." "And so did he," the king said, pointing at Eli. Eli nodded slowly. "My dream? The voice? I felt someone calling me." The king finally understood. This human did not come by accident. He was guided here by destiny, by the old bond, by something greater than any of us. The hall fell into respectful silence. The alien prince stepped forward again. But this time, his voice was different, calm, defeated. "I cannot deny prophecy," he said. He bowed his head low. "Princess Human, the galaxy will resist you, but it will not stop you." Lyara smiled softly. Eli nodded. For the first time that night, hope filled the hall. The king raised his staff high. "Let it be known across the galaxy. Princess Lyara has chosen the human Eli." The hall erupted with new energy. Some cheers, some disbelief, but no more protests. The decision was final. Lyara turned to Eli, her voice gentle. "You walked into this hall alone, but you will not walk alone again." Eli smiled, small, quiet, and warm. "I didn't come here to be chosen," he said softly, "but I'm glad fate brought me to you." Lyara took his hand, held it against her heart, and whispered, "You changed everything, just by being you." As the hall lights glowed brighter, and the galaxy's future shifted, one truth became clear. A human had walked into an alien palace, and walked out with a princess, a destiny, and the start of a new age. The grand hall of the Starflame Palace shone like 1,000 suns, its tall crystal pillars glowing with soft blue light, its silver floor reflecting every movement of the crowd. Alien nobles from across the galaxy waited in long lines, whispering, adjusting their capes, fixing their armor, and preparing their best smiles. Tonight was important. Tonight, Princess Lyara would choose her mate. Everyone believed the princess would pick one of the great alien princes. They came from powerful kingdoms, strong, tall, proud, and gifted with rare abilities. Some could control fire. Others could move objects with their minds. Every suitor thought he would be the one. But the princess had done something new. One expected. She rejected them all. One after another, the princess walked forward, bowed, and tried to impress her. And one after another, Lyara shook her head. Some she refused before they even spoke. Some she rejected after listening to only one sentence. Some she rejected with a cold stare that made their confidence crumble. The hall filled with tension. Angry whispers spread like fire. Why is she doing this? Is she impossible to please? She must choose someone tonight. Lyara sat on a high throne carved from starlight metal, her golden hair glowing softly, her purple eyes calm but distant. She looked at the suitors as if she was searching for something or someone. Her father, King Orion, sat beside her with growing frustration. His sharp voice echoed across the hall. "Lyara, you cannot reject everyone." But she simply replied, "They are not the one." This answer only made the crowd more confused. The king tried to hide his embarrassment, but the galaxy's most powerful leaders were watching. Rejecting powerful princes could start political problems. Some kingdoms might even take it as an insult. Still, Lyara remained calm. She knew what she felt inside, something missing, something her heart kept waiting for. A memory from her childhood returned to her mind, soft like a whisper. Your heart will recognize the one who does not belong. She did not understand that message then. But now, as the hall grew louder and angrier, she wondered if that prophecy was real. Another alien warlord stepped forward. He was huge, his skin covered in shining metal plates. He flexed his arms and created sparks of lightning to impress her. The crowd gasped. The king nodded proudly, but Lyara looked at the warlord for only a moment and said softly, "No." The warlord's eyes widened in shock. Lightning died in his hands. He stormed out of the hall, furious. A cold, heavy silence followed. Now the king finally stood up. His voice grew harsher. "This is the last group of suitors, Lyara. You must choose one." Lyara looked at the long line. Her heart felt emptier with each face she saw. She knew none of them were right. None of them made her chest feel warm. None of them made her feel alive. She whispered to herself. "He is not here." Not yet. Before the last prince could walk forward, something strange happened. The giant palace doors, thick, heavy, and guarded by soldiers, began to tremble. A deep, echoing sound filled the hall. The flames in the lamps flickered. The crowd turned toward the entrance in shock. No one was scheduled to arrive. No one was allowed to enter without permission. The doors shook again, and then slowly opened. A bright white light poured into the hall. The crowd stepped back. The king stood tall. Lyra's breath caught in her throat. Someone unexpected was walking in. Someone who was not a prince. Not an alien lord. Not a noble of the galaxy. A human. The hall fell completely silent as the figure stepped through the bright light. Every alien eye watched closely. Some leaned forward. Some whispered in fear. Some laughed because they thought it was a joke. A human man walked in. He wore no royal clothes, no armor, no glowing weapons like the alien princes. His outfit was simple, dark boots, a plain gray jacket, and a calm expression that did not match the tension in the hall. His name was Eli. Though no one here knew him yet, 2 alien guards rushed toward him at once. "Halt! Humans are not allowed inside this ceremony. This place is for noble suitors only." But Eli did not step back. He simply raised his hands slowly to show he carried no weapons. His voice was steady and calm. "I am not here to cause trouble," he said. "I'm only here because I felt called." The guards paused, confused by his answer. The crowd burst into laughter. Called? By who? Humans cannot even sense energy. He must be lost. But Princess Lyara did not laugh. Her heart beat once hard. The same strange warmth she had felt during childhood returned. She stared at the human as if she already knew him somehow, even though she had never seen him before. King Orion stood from his throne, shocked and offended. "Human!" The king shouted, "This hall is not for your kind. You have no power, no rank, no right to enter." Eli didn't bow, didn't panic, didn't shout. He simply looked at the king and spoke clearly. "With respect, I don't know why I'm here. Something pulled me toward this place. Something I cannot explain." The hall erupted in whispers. "What nonsense. Humans have no special senses. Throw him out." But Lyara stood. For the first time that night, she showed emotion, confusion mixed with interest. She stepped forward and looked directly into Eli's eyes. "What do you mean you felt called?" she asked softly. Eli breathed slowly and answered, "I had a dream. A bright hall, a girl with glowing eyes, and a voice saying, 'Come.'" Lyra's eyes widened. The exact same words she whispered earlier. "He is not here." "Not yet," echoed in her mind. Her heart hammered harder. A strange connection formed inside her, invisible but strong, as if she had been waiting for him all her life. The king, furious, pointed at the guards. "Remove him at once." The guards grabbed Eli's arms, but before they could drag him away, Lyra shouted, "Stop!" Her voice cracked through the air like lightning. The guards froze. The crowd gasped. The king turned toward her in shock. Lyara walked down the steps of the throne. Slowly, gracefully, her eyes locked on Eli. "You cannot remove him," she said, her voice steady. "He came here because something guided him." "The same thing that guided me?" The crowd erupted again. "Princess, this is madness. He is just a human." What connection can she have with a weak species? But Lyara ignored the noise around her. She faced Eli. "What is your name?" "Eli," he answered softly. "And I don't know why, but when I walked in and saw you, I felt like I've been here before." Lyra's chest tightened. She whispered, almost to herself, "His heart recognizes mine?" The king placed a hand on his forehead, exhausted and angry. "Eli," the king growled, "if you want to stay, you must face the suitor trials. If you fail even one, you will be exiled from this world forever." Eli nodded once, without fear. "I accept." Lyara felt a shock go through her body. The weakest being in the hall. The most unexpected visitor. The only one who made her heart move. Had just agreed to face trials meant for warriors. And something deep inside her whispered, "This human may change everything." The king's command echoed through the glowing hall. "Begin the trials." The guards released Eli, but their eyes still watched him with disbelief. Every alien suitor stepped back, forming a wide circle around the human. Some folded their arms. Some smirked. Some whispered insults loudly so he could hear. "He will fail in seconds. Humans are too weak. This is a waste of time." But Eli stayed calm. His hands were steady, his breathing slow. He looked more like someone walking into a quiet room than someone facing dangerous alien trials. Princess Lyara stepped closer to the edge of the platform. Her heart felt tight. She didn't know why she cared so much, but she couldn't look away. The royal announcer flew into the center of the circle, flapping insect wings. First trial strength. A massive alien warrior stepped forward. His body was covered in thick, stone-like skin. He lifted a giant hammer made from star metal. The floor cracked under its weight. "This human cannot even lift it." The warrior laughed. But Eli didn't try to lift the hammer. Instead, he walked around it, studying the handle, the weight, the grip. The crowd stared in confusion. What is he doing? This is embarrassing. Eli placed his hands on the hammer, not to lift it, but to tilt it slightly. He used the balance of the weapon, shifted his weight, and slowly rolled it onto its side. Then, using leverage, he dragged it across the marked line on the floor. The announcer's wings stopped buzzing in shock. "He completed the task," the warrior shouted angrily. "That's cheating." But Lyara spoke quickly. "The rules say he must move the hammer across the line." "It doesn't say he must lift it," the crowd gasped. The warrior backed away in shame. Eli passed the first trial. With intelligence, not strength, the announcer flew high again. Second trial truth. A glowing orb floated into the center of the hall. Its light shifted from warm gold to cold blue. Every suitor had to answer one question. If they lied, the orb would turn black. Many alien princes had already failed earlier tonight. The orb asked Eli, "What do you desire?" The crowd waited. Surely he would say he wanted the princess or power. Eli looked at the orb and spoke simply, "I want to understand why I'm here." The orb glowed bright gold. Pure truth. The crowd murmured in surprise. Even Lyra's eyes softened. She believed him completely.